Hello, my people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching me from. This is your boy Chinedu Anichi, your one and only celebrity CSO and the African voice in diaspora. And today, we this is Chinedu Anichi TV streaming live from United States of America. Today, we'll be having a very important guest in the house, the an instrument of sustenance and consolidating the continuity of authorship, about writing scriptures, writing graphe in Greek, scripturas in Latin. That is writing, somebody who has taken pains to make sure that writing continues in life. So it's a man who represents a model of authorship and an epitome of indelibility in books, in pink, in red, in blue, and in print. So today we're having a man, a Nigerian, who is based in America with international and global experience when it comes to books and writing books and authorship. Today, we'll be having Chinedu Igwe in this studio. Remember, we are streaming live as we're talking to you on Instagram at Chinedu Anichi. Just go to Instagram now at Chinedu Anichi. You will see us live. Go to YouTube now at Chinedu Anichi TV, live on YouTube now. Then on Facebook, go to Chinedu Anichi TV. On Facebook, you will see us live. We are streaming live on these three platforms now as I'm talking to you. So let me invite our very important guest today. Yeah, I don't know whether it's chief, I don't know whether it's engineer, but when he will be talking, he will now tell us his title. But he simply, he demonstrates humility. All these great authors and men who have consolidated and sustained the continuity of authorship in the world will always come with one simple name, Chinedu Igwe. So I am inviting Chinedu Igwe to Chinedu Anichi TV for a talk show on authorship, a very important in our society. Authorship as a vital component of our society. That's our topic today. And today we have an international chairperson of International Association of Authors, Chinedu Igwe. Hello, Chinedu.
Hello. I will say good afternoon from Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm both delighted and privileged to be on your TV, Chinedu Anichi TV. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome. My brothers and sisters, Chinedu Anichi TV family in Europe, Chinedu Anichi TV family in Asia, Chinedu Anichi TV family in America, those in Africa, those in Australia, especially those in Nigeria, those in Enugu, and those in Osaka, where I'm born, because I am always proud of getting back to my roots. I am an Osaka man.
Wow.
Highly disappointed and highly Osakarized. So,
that's interesting because I went to UNN, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, so I was there for 4 years.
Wow, you're a graduate, so you're a lion.
A great lion.
Wow, that's great. That university, I'm from Aluno.
Oh.
Aluno is the community by the side of the gate of the university.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm born and bred in the university town.
Wonderful. Very great institute. That's where I started my life.
Okay. So thank you for coming. Today, you know how we invite people here. We don't just invite people at random. We look at your profile. We look at what you have been able to do. But most importantly, we try to consider the person's roots. Your roots in the sense that we want personalities that come here to send a message to people, to encourage them. That's the essence of establishing this show. So that by the time you're talking, some other people who is yet to attain his or her own goal in life will start dreaming better. We start thinking of how to get to his or her goal. So to start with, sir, please tell our viewers, in every glory there is a story. Some footballers will say, we hooked pure water, we hooked this one. Some other people, some billionaires today, will say we were taxi drivers, we were this one. Some other people will say this one. Do you have such story in your life? So can you share with us, like the story that's making your glory?
Every Nigerian, which is my root, must have a story. Definitely must have a story because that is where we all started from, and it's not that rosy back in the African continent based on what is happening there. So my story from your point of view is, first of all, I have love from the family. I was brought up in a very loving family. And then the infrastructures around and the steps to get to adulthood was challenging. But the most important thing is that with that love in the background and being focused at the same time, I'm here now today and alive and prospering.
Wow. So how was your days in the university?
Yeah, going back to, I'm very happy that you are from Osaka, and after I left Government College Omahia, which is where I'm from. I'm from Ikuano, in the Ikuano local government area of Abia State, and then attended Government College Omahia. From there, I went to Osaka and graduated with a bachelor's degree in psychology before coming down to United States to have my MBA from the Beulah Heights University. So my days in Soka, I will say, number one, Government College of Omahia shaped me a little bit, and then University of Nigeria, Soka. In short, Government College of Omahia started it, and the University of Nigeria, Soka completed it. So I'm very, very grateful to be an alumni of that university, and because it's a rock. Even the ground, you should know better. Soka soil is rocky. So when you are in Soka, you will know that yes, you are not on a soft ground. You have to really strive to succeed, because from the rocks here, from the ground you are walking on is hard, and you have to put up a very big effort to graduate from that university. So it's a privilege that I attended the university, and it's a very good university, and it shaped me to what I am today.
Wow. So you see, our topic today is authorship as a vital component of our society.
Yes, very important.
So, and from my research about you and what you have been into in America and beyond the shores of America, you have been somebody who has advocated for the survival, consolidation, and sustenance of continuity of authorship in this globe. So, what propels you into this action? What's your trigger?
Actually, after writing my Facebook, this is my book. It's called Immigration to Citizenship of the United States of America, Your Resource Guide. It's like an orientation booklet for immigrants, those in diaspora, to really navigate their way around a brand new country, brand new environment, and challenging surrounding. So the book is supposed to help immigrants integrate successfully and succeed. Then, that is what inspired me to initiate the International Association of African Authors and Scholars Professional Development Institute, which you can see on the website here, our website address. This is now, I see it as an umbrella organization where African authors can come, become a member, and thrive both individually and collectively. And they promote, as we are promoting ourselves, promoting our books, we are promoting the continent. That is where the whole, just as you said, that's how the insight started from my book, and then thinking about, let's get these authors together so that we can now promote book and promote writing.
Wow, that's good. So, since you start, when did you start this movement? How long has it been?
The organization, our organization started in 2015. And then the first summit, we call it Authorship and Leadership Summit. The first summit was started in 2017. So this is how long we've gone with the organization, whereby the summit, African authors come together, and then we talk, create more opportunities for even those that are aspiring to write. Mentoring is very important. Mentoring is very important. When you see somebody in the area you want to go in, then you'll be more comfortable in heading towards that path, because at least there's some success already there, and then there is people you can look up to. That is how the whole organization started.
So the whole 2015 to this time, so you have almost 9 years, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So this organization has really passed. So what's the major challenge you have?
Yes, not really challenge, but we are just pushing forward to make sure the awareness is there, because the most important thing about the organization is that most of Africans write very well, but they don't have that opportunity to come to the limelight to present their works because of some type of problem, that maybe leadership institute is not really functioning very well, was going on that they cannot come out. But this organization creates that opportunity for African authors, wherever they are, not even only in Africa, but around the globe, to see this organization as the space, the arena that people can now say, oh, this is what we have in Africa, and these are the people that comes from this continent, and the very, very brilliant authors and writers and scholars.
Okay. Who if before you tell me about how you run your organization and some other things, there's something I want to ask you. Like if you ask Ronaldinho as a footballer, who inspired you into some of the skill display that you do on the football field, we say JJ Okocha. If you ask some other person, even Peter Obi, there was a time they asked him, "How did you get this knowledge?" He said, "I got it from a madman." So, whatever you do, there's somebody you look up there. Like as an actor, I've always seen Sam Bede as somebody I look up to, as a model. So, who is this author you can refer to respectfully and humbly that you know today that it inspires what you do?
Uh, from generally, I like reading and writing. In the secondary school, in government college here, I was reading dictionary. I was reading dictionary as like a subject, because that is how I really trained or developed the skills of writing. Because one thing about writing is this: read as much as you can, because when you need those words, they will definitely come to you. But if you don't read intensively, vastly, the words might not come when you need them. So I was reading dictionary, and when you read like that, the words will be stored inside you, wherever, probably in the brain. And then once you start writing, you see them coming out. But if you don't read, they will not come out. Coming to inspiration. So first of all, I started inspiring myself because it's like I knew I would end up writing. So I started with the words so that they'll handle when I need them. For the established authors, those that really inspired me were Chinua Achebe, who attended Government College Goma here too, and then Wole Soyinka. I was very proud of Wole Soyinka when he won the Nobel Prize in Sweden, I think sometime in 1986. And such glamour of what writing can bring. One of these are the type of stories that inspired me. Yeah. And there's some other African authors all over. Book is very interesting. So when they write, I loved it. So that I was inspired by the few authors that I know around me as I was growing up.
Wow, that's great. So you said you passed through UNN, and have you heard of the lady they call Chimamanda Adichie?
That's right. Yes.
So what do you think about her and her Africanized way of, Africanized way of authorship, and how she tries to, in her writings, she encapsulates our values, our tradition, and what we respect, our morality. So even in her speeches. So what can you say about this young lady and what she represents when it comes to being an author?
Yes, I follow her stories. Matter of fact, in 2017, when we did our first summit, we invited her, but her representative told us she will be in, I think, Edinburgh or Scotland, that area, probably Edinburgh, and that's why she did not make that trip. I mean, come to our summit. And it was actually true, because that same year I still went to I traveled to Edinburgh on my way to Nigeria, and I learned that she was around doing some book signing. So Chimamanda is an Africanist. That's number one. Then the interest she portrays is that she mixes both modern and Africanism together. She represents the Western world, and she's in between the Western world and the African world. In a nutshell, she does not forget. She didn't forget her roots. So she's somebody that I see that has interest in her roots, and she does not waste time to portray it. I'm very sure that most people know about writing and through her, because she's always bringing the conversation back to Africa.
Wow. Okay. That was an intro part. I want our viewers to know the essence of this organization, your objective, what you intend to achieve.
Yeah.
So I want you to let us know, and our listeners and viewers, for them to know why is this International Organization of African Writers and Authors, why are you pushing this kind of movement for 9 years now? What do we intend to achieve as African people?
The main objective or goal of International Association of African Authors and Scholars is to present African authors and their books to the international arena. And why I say this is that I see the literary world as a warehouse. You can just imagine yourself in a warehouse full of books, a warehouse full of books. And a very big percentage of those books in that warehouse is coming from Africa, or from African authors, African writers, and African scholars. But most of them are not known. So the purpose of our organization is to discover and present these African authors to the world stage. Because remember the imaginary warehouse full of books, Africans has a big percentage of those books in that warehouse in terms of global books production. So that was how we come up with this very organization. And then how do we do all this to really present African authors to the world? Is by the annual summit we do. Bringing authors together under one umbrella, under one roof to talk, discuss, write, publish books. And then that's the summit. The Discover magazine, you can look at it here, it's called Discover for a Purpose, to discover these African authors. Then we have YouTube channel. If you go to our website, click on the YouTube icon, you will take you to all the summits and all the literary events, workshops that we've done. You can now see what we do there. And these authors too, remember, in all the summit, they are there talking about their books, the success stories behind the challenges, and these are inspiring and a way of mentoring for us. In our summit, there's something we call Books Olympics, very unique. Books Olympics means that books compete for their authors, not authors competing for their books. It's the reverse side now. The books are voted for like in an election. So you will see, if you, in the YouTube videos that we have on our YouTube channel, you will see a place like a polling station where the participants, the guests, the members are going there after talking to the authors that are present, talking about, listening to them. Maybe they've read the books before they came to the summit or not, but they cannot go there and write down the title of any particular book of their choice. At the end, the votes are counted, and the book that received the highest book becomes the outstanding book of the summit. And we call it Outstanding Book Prize. It wins a stipend for money that will help the author that wrote the book research more and write more. So the books are competing for their authors. That's why we call it Books Olympics. Our organization decided to get leadership. As you can see, the magazine is called Authorship and Leadership Summit, because we talk about leadership here, not just writing. The idea came as a way that, oh, why it's not just write our books? Oh, here we go for our fans. This is my book, give me the money. No, we want our fans, especially in Africa, to live comfortable, to live with every necessary amenity that's available to mankind. How do we get this? We have to go to the leadership area to make sure that leaders are held accountable, and we can now discuss leadership in our summit so that people will know leadership skills. That is why we came about with a leadership institute we want to initiate in Africa. It will be like a command campus where the idea is to go in there and study leadership skills only. And the motto is learn leadership skills first before seeking leadership position. Leadership is not something you go in and start learning on the job. You have to get the experience before then. Just like me, I have an MBA degree, and I bet you, after studying my MBA, I feel that any type of business, I mean, even like in Soka, call it what was it again? Scientific. The roadside sellers that fry akara, yam, plantain, it's called scientific. Every leader should have an MBA, because from the first day you enter into an MBA class to the last day you leave, all you will be learning is leadership and management. Leadership and management. By the time you come out, there's nothing you don't have to discuss anything that lead and manage. So that is why we want to initiate that institute. In our organization, we have the bookstore too. Two things an author aspires to be, and two things you give an author to complete the circle. An author have to write a book, and that is noble to him or her after writing the book. The next thing is to sell the book. International Association of African Authors and Scholars, Professional Development Institute have provided these two avenues for an author. We have the organization to talk about books, write books, mentor, and then we have where to sell the books. If you go to our website and click the bookstore, it will take you to our bookstore, which is like we call it Superstore Books and Crafts. That's where you see our books, and this pen too. You see, that's the organizational pen. It's sold there as a craft, and in the pin we wear on our events. You can buy it there too with our books. So that is one. Then we have a books 360 degrees. It's called books 360 degrees for a reason. When I was creating the logo, we use an owl. I think it's here. An owl has I will not go into so much details, but let me just show you the picture of an owl and tell you why we use that picture for the books 360 degrees. I think it's somewhere here. So what books 360 degrees does is authorship mentoring and the literary workshop. Authorship mentoring and literary workshop. Give me a minute. Sometimes look for something. Okay. Anyway, authorship books 360 degrees is authorship mentoring and literary workshop. What it does is we mentor youths so that they can be occupied. In most cases, youths, as they're growing up, they need to be where they are supposed to be. So if you have this type of literary workshop and mentoring, you keep them engaged. The energy that they were used in doing crimes and doing something that is not nice in the society will now be directed towards writing. And then the supply of books will continue to be non-stop. African Ambassadors Forum is another program of our organization. What does it do? Leadership and investment stock. We want people to know, how do we create leaders that will be sustainable in Africa? Number two, investment. What are those investments in Africa that need to be known in the outside world so that other people can go in there successfully and develop the continent? Remember, some Africans have left their countries for a long time to be in either in the Western world, maybe UK, Australia, US, or any place. They've not gone back for one reason or the other, but African Ambassadors Forum brings them to know what is going on in their countries. We do this by getting the embassies to be involved, and then the embassies will come to the event. The embassy staff will come to the event and talk about what is in their country, so that they will not be totally aloof and out of the ordinary for a long time. ISPDI have introduced recently, very recently, the VAP program called Visiting Authors Research Project. If there is a lack of research libraries and museums where to write, we created that opportunity so that our members, or those that want to align with us, can come to the United States. We give letters of invitation so that they can utilize the opportunities that are available. Such opportunities are very interesting because, like for instance, in Atlanta, Georgia, here where I'm currently staying, the Jimmy Carter Presidential Library is a massive place. The museum is right beside it there, very, very great place to research. The Martin Luther King Jr. Museum and birthplace is right here in Atlanta too. These are, I'm talking about Georgia and Atlanta. The other parts of the United States is there. They have a lot of things there too. So they come here and write their next book, knowing fully well that the materials they will need, the whatever they have to offer, I mean, whatever the facilities have, they can be accessible to, they can have access to it. Before I forget, I saw the picture of the owl I was looking for. That is it right there. That is it. Okay. And you look at the name, Books 360, because the head of the owl turns 360, turns round. That's why we chose it. And the books 360 degrees is a continuous process. It's not like a summit we do once in a year. We are going to schools and churches and wherever we have to present it and look at it there. Literary workshop and authorship mentoring. And then if you look at the owl too, you see that the eyes looks like glasses. I know very well when I was growing up in Africa, not now that you wear glasses have eye problem. Then whenever you wear, any person that wears glasses means that he has been reading or she has been reading for a long time, and you know she's educated. He or she is educated. So the owl has eyes like looks like a glass, reading glasses. The head turns 60 degrees, and if you look at the legs here, it's holding those pines. Look at them; they look like books. The pine of a book, like the owl is bringing a book to us. So that is why I was looking for this to share with you how we come about Books 360 degrees logo of an owl. So what I've enumerated is one of the part of the things we do in our organization, to really promote, present, discover, and promote authors from Africa and all over, wherever they are. Did I get
Well, that's great. Yeah, that's great. That's impressive. Chinedu, you're doing great.
Chinedu.
Chinedum Igwe. Yeah. Even I know you corrected it because my name is Chinedu, and a lot of us in Igbo land, we don't always put the M. So I've been used to Chinedu, 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 you know. So they meet me.
Yes.
Correct.
Can I tell you a story about why the M is very important to me?
Okay, go ahead.
My mother would never want anyone to call me Chinedu. I know they look alike, they sound alike and look alike, and they know it's just like a medication. Look alike and sound alike does not mean they are the same medications. So she always makes sure that that M is there, and I took it from her for her memory.
I think what your mother did is just that he personalized it.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So she personalized it to herself. That's just the difference, because the M is indicating that I am convinced. Maybe the name came as a result of personal encounter. We know how names come.
Yes.
Names, they are not just carelessly given to people or accidentally. So in our Igbo traditional setup, names are given to people by circumstances surrounding their birth.
Yes.
So for your mother to personalize Chinedum, it's just trying to say that Chinedu could mean a general notion, which might not be associated with commitment. But since I am personalizing it, so it is now, in fact, this Chinedu is, I am committed to it.
God leads me.
Yes.
God leads me, and yours is God leads.
So let's hear a story about Chinedu.
You said what?
Let's hear a story about Chinedu.
That's just I just told you. When I saw my mom making sure that if somebody calls me Chinedu, she will say no, it's Chinedum. And then not for once, not for twice, because it's very easy for people to say Chinedu. She will just call them to order right away. No, he is Chinedum. So I found out that it's important to her. It's important to her, and I have to respect her memory for that. And that's why mine comes up in full, Chinedum, which means God leads me. For her memory, that's what she wants.
Wow. So yeah, you know, there's what we call the science of names. Names they're just nomenclatures, but for those of us, for what I believe, we respect other people's opinion. So I believe that names sacramentalized indelibly, you understand, to someone's psychosomatic structures with grace, extra grace, or spiritual influence. Let me put it like that. Like this name I answer, Chinedum, or the name you answer, Chinedu. Chinedu is that we're trying to make it look like this is how it is because God is universal. So he guides all. But your mother went an extra mile and said, this God guides me. I am convinced. So what I mean is that there are certain things that will happen around you if you underscore them metaphysically and try to relate it to the empirical circumstances around you. You will see the finger of God being demonstrated in the names you answer. It happens to me. There are places I will go to, and if ground is untenable, I will remind God that this is my name. That's the prayer I do in such circumstances. This is my name. And you are God. And they say you are the one that lead people.
Yeah.
Or you guide me, lead me. And in all these kind of situations, I can't mention all of them here. God has always shown that He is really God that leads. Amen. So for us in the African traditional setup, names are not just carelessly given to people.
Exactly, you're right.
Yeah. Yes. So it's just that some people will answer the name and behave in sharp contrast to what the name means. So you will not enjoy the grace. If you are favored and you are always doing some other things, you will not be favored. because grace does not destroy nature. Grace perfects nature.
Thank
The
you.
nature that conditions man to work hard, that one should work hard before success comes. And because you're answering favor, you're just praying and saying, favor come to me because I'm favor. Favor will not come to you. You understand? But if you work in consonance with the demands of the intricate nature of that name, you will see the manifestation empirically, observable. So yeah, I'm talking out of personal experience.
Very, very, very interesting. And we share the same type of name, and now sharing the same type of uh, focus
Yeah,
when it comes to Africans and the diaspora and the relationship to balance the two. So I say that the path you chose is very, very interesting, and just as the topic as the theme goes, authorship as a vital component of our society. So I see you doing a very great work here, and you can never
yeah.
go.
Let me go to some punchlines, which I'm at record. You know, in America, because we are operating in America, we respect private policy. So I might this is for public consumption anyway. But some parts of what you say that I will try to record as personal and might distribute it in other means. Apart from the three platforms where we are streaming live, I can make out of this. And I want it to look this way. If you see under me, you will see the African voice in diaspora.
Yes.
And you also represent what I represent. You represent in authorship, in writing, what I represent in the media and in the social media. Let me say in the media and in the social media.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people have been talking our talk. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
A lot of people have been talking about Africans. A lot of people have been representing Africans in their own personal glance. A lot of people tell us Europeans talk about Africa, write books about Africa. Arabs write books about Africa. Asians write books about Africa. Different people, different write about Africa. But you know, when an outsider writes about you, there is no way it will be, the story can be complete like when you tell the story. So also, I share the ideology and I'm a crusader of Africans telling their own story. And these stories are told in different ways. It can be told in this media platform, it can be told in books. So I believe that we have something in common. So I want to ask you, what is your target towards making African voice to be heard in diaspora?
To be heard in diaspora alone, or just
Just
both?
in diaspora, we can be hearing ourselves in Africa.
Okay.
But we want, like in America, we want Americans to hear the true story of Africa. We want Americans to know that Africans also have values in their marriage. We want Americans to understand that it is possible for a place to be very, very properly ventilated and have a sound environment in Africa. There are places you go to Africa, it's better than some slums in the US. Nobody will show you that when an European is writing about Africa. Do you understand?
Yes.
So, but we want Africans to show. It's true that in some of our places, there are crude local places, but we also have places that look like if you go to Nigeria, we have places in Lekki, we have places in Abuja, in Asokoro, that look like New York. Do you understand?
Yes.
So, but nobody wants to tell that story, part of it. So, how do you plan, or what's your target to get Americans or some Africans living in America to hear the story of Africa in print?
Let me start with in media, media, where you are. The African voice in diaspora is number one. Should be number one, because all you've said here now, bringing me into the show, and all the girls that will be watching live, that is the message is being passed already. So what we are doing is what you are just asking me. You're already on it. So we are now supposed to support you, listen to this program, and invest in it. By investing in it means whatever the challenge you are going through, everybody should pitch in and say, what do you need to really make our voice heard? Just as our organization is get involved to be heard. That's the motto. Get involved to be heard means that if you write a book and you don't share it, like come out into this type of organization, so that you will be you attend the summit, attend the books 360 degrees, get involved, then you will not be heard from the outside. That's what it means. Now you are equally doing the same thing. So we need to really support you, support your TV, Chinedu Anichi TV, the talk show, because this is exactly what and where, this is exactly where what you just asked me, this is where it should be heard. Our voices will be heard here, and whatever we need to do in Africa, we interact here and do it. That's media. Now, coming to the print, as you specifically asked, print, the books, if they are, let me just read something real quick for you here. If one of my friends, if you go to our website, can you pull our website up on your screen? Is it possible?
No, I did not fix it before now.
Okay. I want to say that quote, and I want to say it right, but it goes this way. If an author, let me hold on. It's on our website, and it's a quote that I want to really use to answer your question. Exactly as it is there. I'll get it right now.
Can you post it on your Facebook, on your YouTube comments?
I should, but if they go to our website, if you go to our website, they will see it. They will definitely.
If you put it now, I'll show it on the screen here.
Okay. I don't know.
Comment on your YouTube or Instagram or any of these platforms, I can show it on the screen.
Okay. I wish I had somebody to really do it now, but this is the quote here. An author is only useful if people read. Otherwise, knowledge dies with the author. An author is only useful if people read. Otherwise, knowledge dies with the author. It's a quote on our website, and people can go in there and see other quotes that are there. So, to write a book, you ask me, how do we show what is happening in Africa? We cannot. All our members are writing continuously, and when they come to become members in our organization, what it means is that they are now going to be supported. They now know that they have a future where their voice, where their writing will be heard. So in that case, they are not wasting their time. The encouragement is there. The support is there. When the books win a standing book prize, There's some stipend that is given to the author as a scholarship. Now that we've introduced visiting authors research project, it is an opportunity again for our members to continue writing and researching to write more books so that there will be no decline in writing. What we are doing is to encourage and make sure that there is that opportunity to write is there. The opportunity is there for research. The opportunity is there to sell the books. So the two things that an author needs is happening in this organization already. So when we write and when we continue to write, we are not forgetting the continent of Africa, because most of those things we are going to write are coming from there, or the knowledge and the experiences. So that is how, by answering your question, that is how the continuity and the letting people know what is in Africa, that's how it can be. Bring it the story and we let it out to the world. And that's how get involved to be heard. I can't hear you.
I'm very, very happy that you study psychology, because you said you read psychology in your first degree.
Yes.
I studied philosophy.
Wow.
So,
which
I know
university did you study your philosophy?
Huh?
Which university did you study your philosophy?
I studied in UNIZEC.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you know, these two courses has a way of branding personalities.
Yes.
If you see somebody who reads psychology, yeah, Cindy Alona Ezugu. Thank you, Mom. I'm seeing your Facebook. One of our mentors. Very soon you'll be here. I will invite you personally to come here. So thank you, Mommy, for coming up to watch. So what we are saying is that these two courses brand personalities into the ideologies inculcated. That is when, if you allow the tenets, if you assimilate the tenets of these disciplines, they will be transparent in your output. So all we need to do as psychologists, I know we see that some people can talk very well, but they cannot write. Some people can speak very well, but they cannot write. They don't have the discipline to sit down and start writing books. And they have ideas. So the psychology behind this kind of thing, and that separates the understanding or the consonants between speaking well and writing well. Some writers are not orators, and some orators cannot write. So what could be the psychology behind all this?
Yes, okay. First of all, I will start by saying that writing is innate, it's from inside. No matter other subjects you did, other courses, that one is still inside you and it can blossom. It can blossom at any time. Medical doctors, engineers, psychologists. Okay, in my own case, after studying, I was writing before I went into psychology as a program. I was already, as you remember what I said earlier, I've already had the interest of writing. So writing will definitely come out. What I'm trying to say is that writing will definitely come out no matter where. You can't hide. That's what it's all about. It cannot hide in you. It will come out no matter where you are and no matter what you are doing. Psychology, MBA, and I'm still there writing. But the most important thing is that not to to listen to your voice, to listen to yourself. If your body and your mental, if your body and the psyche says right, just go ahead and do it, because it will take you to the level, it will take you to the where, to level that you will be okay, stress-free. Writing reduces stress burden from us. That is what it does. And one thing about it is that once you feel like you know what that's the what's it called, the what you need to, the experience you want to relate to comes around, go for it. Write it right away. Write it down. Two sentences of you wrote on this paper can turn to maybe 3 pages. When you start now, say, okay, let me go and work on that thing.
I understand what you're saying, but that's not my point.
Okay.
I want you to get my point, sir. My point is there are orators, people who speak very well, but they don't know how to write, either out of laziness, or I don't know, procrastination, or I don't know, maybe just that they are incapable of doing that. So, but I know some people who are quiet, even if you call them up to come and talk, you know, they will not flow the way others will flow. But if you allow them in their closets, they can write many books. So some introverts, that's what I'm saying. Some are not outspoken. Some are not extroverted.
Yes.
So some are not, they are not orators, but they can write very well. So, but some other people can. Anyway, I think that we just have few who can write and talk.
Because they follow their mind. They follow their mind. When they remember, you mentioned something now. When they remember that they want to write it, or they want to write a book, if you stay and they don't go straight to, that's why I was writing, to go and write something down. If you stay and leave it without going to write it down somewhere, you're going to forget it. Some other things, side talks, side family matters, work, and it's gone. You will not go back to that original story again, or that idea you had. So that was why I was saying that if you want to write, if you want to be an author, you must start by writing down something that comes to your mind right away on this. That's why every corner of my house, even in the car, I have pen and paper around here. If I might be driving and an idea comes to me, what do? If it's the gas station, I can just park and write it down. Just write it down and then continue on. That is, I don't mean that you should be on the highway driving out of state and do that. No, if it's just a local drive and you remember it, you just park safely and write it down, because when you now want to come back to that story, if you don't see it, you cannot go further with it. But once you see it written down, you cannot develop it further. You cannot develop it further. So that is what my answer should be to that question.
Wow. That's great. I am happy you're here today, and there's something I always like to showcase whenever I find an opportunity, because we're talking of an African voice. We need to start from my place. You need to start from the place. You see, I'm an Igbo man, and our Igbo adage says, charity begins at home. Ana mama sina uno apidiro. Kamade yarebo ndobo asa azukop amasa inu. We are Igbo people. And that's where both of us come from. In all this, your international, African international authorship processes and all these things, how do you integrate the Igbo authors? And how do you encourage those who write in Igbo language?
Yeah. In Igbo, Anna say Igbo Amaka. Igbo Amaka, a very good language. It's an African organization anyway. We are not specific to any particular tribe or region. If authors that wrote in Igbo or Igbo language comes up here now, their books will be on our bookstore. They'll be part of us. So writing I even encourage those that want to write in their native languages to write it very well, and then publish it. So that is why our organization, we have publishers as authors here. Our members are equally, some of them are publishers too. So when you write now, and I think the hardest stage of writing a book is even to publish it. Writing is easy. Writing is easy. It's you. You are dealing with yourself. What you are commanding the scenario. It's like you are a captain of a ship. You move these subjects around as you like. You move the scenes as you like. You create people and the opportunities. So you are in control of the situation. But when it gets to the publishing, it is more difficult because other people are involved. They might not even like all this time you took to write these volumes of 700 pages or 150 pages. Somebody will say it is trash, that it's not going anywhere. That's from the publisher side. So publishing is even the hardest part of writing. So when they write, what I'm saying is that bring your books and your ideas to us, and let's help you even write and publish it, because it does not end at writing. You still have that publishing end that you don't have control over to deal with. But our members are both authors and the publishers, and they will guide you systematically and help you well. So any part of tribe that wants to write and is encouraging. Igbo language, any other type of language, just go ahead. The most important is in a book, and then the continuum continues. The book will not go into decline, because there's nothing like holding a book like this, admiring the front cover, reading the back cover, looking inside, scanning through it. That is the classic or traditional way of reading. I know the e-books now and the online reading, they are there anyway, but they can never be like a traditional book that really empowers. Somebody will be looking at this book now and want to do the same thing. That is empowerment. That's real empowerment.
Wow. You know why I asked that question? Because I believe in charity begins at home. I believe in somebody taking things from his or her root. Like, I'm in the media, and before I started my TV stuff, when I was still using phone, and when I was still using, I was using Facebook first of all. I started my online stuff with Facebook. It was not a TV series like this. So I started with Facebook, and I first of all started with Nsoka, because I'm a Nsoka man. I said the first thing I have to do is to start with my place. Then I brought a program I called Otobo Nsoka. Otobo Nsoka is Otobo. You have been in Nsoka. Otobo means a village square.
Yes.
And in Nsoka, traditionally, village square is where people discuss. Okay. That's where they interact, where they discuss. So I came up with that concept.
Okay.
I got the idea from Amara Chatama, who is one of our ladies, who is also a very outstanding person when it comes to Igbo preservation. So and I developed it and started Otobon Suka before we now started expanding to talk show, to
Wow.
all these things. I believe that as an Igbo man,
Mhm.
or as a Nigerian, let me not say Igbo, as a Nigerian, you should look for people who are writing books in Yoruba, writing books in Igbo, writing books in Hausa, because some of these our local languages are very unadulterated, carriers of our values. Very unadulterated. There are things I can communicate in Igbo. I will not be able to communicate it effectively in English. It will not carry the undefined, and it will not carry the raw tenets of what the Igbo cultural values represent when I want to communicate because of decency, because of the Western orientation and the refined way of speaking. It will not carry. There are things I will tell you in Igbo now.
Mhm.
You can't speak it in English. So, and if we are able to encourage some of this Igbo, Yoruba, I'm using Igbo because I'm an Igbo man. For
Yes.
those of you who are from other tribes in Nigeria, please do respect to everybody. So, if you can use Yoruba, use Hausa languages, the preservation of the, because you are an instrument of preservation. You are an instrument of preservation. So, if you don't have Igbo authors, Hausa authors, Yoruba authors, local Ghanaian language authors, Liberians, local language authors, and different parts of Africa, then you people need to do that. Because it is in that core languages that our values are preserved. I study philosophy. And in African philosophy, there's an argument, philosophy at a time was considered to be a Western thing alone. People were really thinking that philosophy started in Greeks, in Mesopotamia, and all this, and because of Aristotle, Anaximander, and all this Goja, and all this.
In my first year, I'll never forget that course really deep dealt with me until I passed it.
So that's the way it is. But it's a very strict course. People be study philosophy.
Are you serious? I didn't know.
Read philosophy.
Wow. Wow. That's nice. That's
Why, if you see philosophers, those who really brought out, our people are just looking for something to study to make money out of it.
Yes.
Some of us are read philosophy for passion.
Yes.
I did not stop philosophy because till today, nobody has ever used my philosophy certificate to employ me to do anything.
Yes.
I have never used my philosophy certificate
You.
to go. But let me tell you, the philosophizing itself has placed me where I am.
That's right.
Even though nobody asked me for the certificate. So if you study a course for a passion, it will be transparent in your output.
Exactly.
Originality is always there. And any employer who knows what he wants will always look for you.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying is that Africans were considered not to be philosophizing just because they had no books to be referred to in the library or philosophical library or encyclopedias.
Yeah.
And when some other African scholars came up, they argued. They said, no. First of all, they said, what is philosophy? They said philosophy is lover of wisdom, as etymologically, derived from the Greek words, philos and sophy. Now they say if philosophy is lover of wisdom, and further explanation says philosophy is intellectual jamboree, a thinking process whereby man rationalized to give out of curiosity, to give answers to some bothering questions like death, existence, cosmos, and all that man has seen around himself in Mother Earth. That is philosophy. They say, okay, does Africans have earth? Yes. Does Africans say, did they ever say things about God? Did they say things about the cosmos? Did they say things about existence? Yes. So why are you saying Africans don't philosophize? So the problem is in the storage. Our problem of philosophizing or civilization why some people deny that civilization did not start in Africa today is because of storage, preservation. We lacked preservation of our own African original ideologies. The memory of the old was our library. And some of our tenets, some of African philosophies or sages, they are preserved in our idiomatic expressions, in proverbs, in sayings of elders. Because the memory of the elders is our own library. But the Western people had opportunity to preserve what they said in books. So that is why I'm telling you, it is very, very important for you people to preserve the cultural values of Africa. We must encourage indigenous local writers who write in our local languages so that we can sustain and consolidate the continuity of these our values to come up in future. If we keep just saying, if we just keep saying, this person is writing in English, write your ideas in English. If he come to you, write it. No. Let us encourage local writers who can speak certain things in Igbo, who can speak certain things in Yoruba, who can speak certain things in Hausa and some Ashanti and other languages due respect in Africa. You will see in years to come, they are preserved. But by the time we will go to the libraries and see only English encyclopedias, English textbook, English references, our own local philosophy, our own local ideologies that should be preserved in print, they will be lost.
Okay, I just saw this in our magazine now. The books 360 degrees I mentioned earlier. If you look at here, literary workshop, authorship mentoring. Look at this one here now. It says fully rounded grassroots reading skills for students, youths, and adults. So what you're just saying that when we go for these programs now, we will introduce this thing you're saying about, because it's part of grassroots writing or reading skills. It's a good idea because it's a good idea because if it is not done, it is not going to be there. So the best thing is, now I'm going to take it back to my organization. Definitely, you're going to see this on the TV too. I mean, on the video, and on our internal communication. I'm not going to present it to our scholars and writers, in short, our membership, that think towards this line. That is what I discussed on Chinedu Anichi TV. Look at the importance, look at the enumeration that we discussed there. Let's go towards that area too. Not just Igbo, other tribes that want to write in their native language. We are not going to start encouraging them, supporting them, and probably try to get some type of scholarship or stipend that we encourage, you know what I mean, that we encourage them, say, this is the type of amount you can get, or we can raise for you to, if you can write in your native language, or if you go into that area. So that is what we can do for, in order to push forward this your ideology from your own, it's your personal instinct, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mercy Allo, is it part of your member?
Oh, yes, that's our.
We say wonderful. Looking forward to this discussion. Yeah, Mercy, thank you on Facebook. And Peace Cuties, Call Me Young, all of you, Prince Zico Soon, Echo 12127, all of you on Instagram, please listen to us. Those of you on YouTube, those on Facebook, please. We have 15 minutes to round up now because it's a 2 hours program, but he chose to make it 1:30, and we must be. We don't just make our guests kings, but they must be seen to be wearing the crown. So
you just mentioned Messi. You just mentioned Messi Alu right now. So I just want to mention that I'm not all by myself in the organization. We have our leadership, and she is.
Wow. Messi just say something. I want to show on the screen. I want to show on the screen what Messi. Look at what Messi did. This is the book I meant. Okay, not this one. The one up first before that one. One of my books has Igbo and Hausa language, and also glossaries of proverbs from both cultures.
Oh, see? Wow. what you are just saying now that we're going to really push it further.
The Igbo proverb from my book. Yes. So we are going to write Messi.
Messi is our coordinator, research, grants, and sponsorship. That's the position in the organization. And we have Charles Uti too, who is the general secretary. We have Obi Okwama, who is the treasurer, and we have Franklin Obiago, who is the assistant general secretary and the coordinator.
I would like to host Messi as soon as possible. As soon as yes. Because we are talking about preserving Africa. When we are talking about giving African people a voice, we need to give them a voice. And language is the best tool. If you give somebody a voice without giving him a good tool, which is the language, the voice will not flow. So when you say you give somebody a voice, you give the person a good tool. Like there are people in the villages that they can advise Tinubu, but they need to speak to Tinubu in Yoruba.
Okay.
For them to be able to communicate exactly what is in their mind. Some of them didn't go to school. That they didn't go to school to be lettered does not mean they don't have food. Even before Western education, Africans have wisdom. Africans have been operating. They have been manufacturing things. They have been surviving. So, and many of those our wisdoms are preserved in our local languages. So anything we are doing about authorship and we want to Africanize it, we must bring in our preservation of our writings in our local languages.
Our members are hearing this. Our members are going to, we're going to walk around it. We're going to introduce it on our
I would like to host Mercy Allo as quick as possible so that we talk about preserving our cultural values in books, in writing, through encouraging local languages in writing. We need to do that. Do you understand? So, Messi, thank you. Thank you for.
It's part of preservation. It's part of necessary preservation, not just preservation.
Please, if you're watching us on Instagram or YouTube or wherever you're watching us, please can you come up with a question now because we're rounding up? Please, can you come up with a question? This is the time you can ask our guest question. Kathy K. Clothings. Ivix, how are you doing? Judith _DQ. Westkeys _music. You can answer. You can ask questions, and he will provide an answer before we round up. Yeah, we are expecting answer from people, but meanwhile, before the answer comes, let's sir, what can you what's your take as a Nigerian? It will not be good for us to conclude anything here without asking you something about where you come from. There's this thing I want to ask because those of you who are experienced, like, how many years have you stayed in the US?
About 23.
23 years.
Yes.
You are a veteran when it comes to stay here. You know, just like there was a day I was discussing what affects marriage, how the increase of divorce among African couples in America and in UK. So what could be necessary? What could be the necessary factors that cause it? Somebody was coming from Africa to advise. I said, no, you are not the best advisor because you've not been here. So we want people who have lived with their wives and their husbands in the US to advise. so, so do you understand what I mean? So if a man wants to come from Africa and advise you over marriage in US, he will not have the idea. He will not, because here a woman is just like, if I get up here and I'm going to cook, I'm going to cook and eventually go and pick my kids, take care of them, bath them. I learned all those things when I go to US. So if you use the African mentality of a man does not enter kitchen, I come here when your wife is at work, it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Do you understand? So the best advisor should be somebody who have been in US. So that's why I asked you how many years. 23 years in US is not a joke. There is this trending thing in social media that anybody from US that come around, I'd like to get a point from you. One is the chairman of APIS. We thank him for what he's doing for establishing a route for the airplane to take people from Nigeria to London. So, and we're happy. But there's a statement he made in Arise TV that somebody that is earning 200,000 in Nigeria is better off than somebody earning $2,000 in US. Do you agree with this matter? And if you agree, you tell me. If you disagree, tell me with your experience.
The comparison, I don't think the comparison matched up well because the situation in Africa, Nigeria, does not allow that type of money to sustain you. I'm talking about no water, no light. I mean, much of that money will burn down in petrol to service your to fuel your generator, and then maybe a car and some other things. So it cannot be. It's not going to be the same at all because there is hardship that wasn't caused by nothing. Is the leaders there? There's a quote I always have. A leader should lead for others to live. That's a quote I generated. Leaders should lead for others to live. A leader can sacrifice him or herself. True leader can sacrifice him or herself for the citizens. So when leaders don't provide that type of atmosphere and the facilities and infrastructures and the habitable environment, that money will not go anywhere. It will not go anywhere compared to the same amount in the United States here. So the comparison does not match.
But can somebody with your experience, can somebody really sustain himself or herself with $2,000 a month in the United States?
In a month?
Yeah.
Of course. Very well, because the most important thing is not following. In short, there's a common language, there's a common saying in Nigeria now, follow who know road. I add mine that say follow who gets sense, or something like that. So you just have to, United States, you don't compete, you don't try to compete with anybody. Just be on your lane, mind yourself, hang your coat where your hand go reach, so that you can easily remove it when you want to. So why I'm saying this is this: that amount, all you need to do is know the amount that you have and know what you want to buy. There is varieties of things, even shoes. You cannot leave the normal small canvas that will take you from point A to B of maybe $7 or maybe $9 in a regular retail store to go and buy a shoe or canvas of $45 because you saw other people wearing it. You don't know where they're making, how they're making their money. United States is a country of on its own 300 million plus people. So there must be diversity and variations. You cannot go to where you do not belong. If this is your amount, keep it to yourself. Work within that area. Even in the restaurants, in the stores, the good thing is that there are varieties in the United States. Everything is not the same.
There are classes.
Go to stay where you belong.
Where you belong.
Yeah, stay where you belong. There are cheap food and there is expensive food, but they're all going to be the same thing anyway in your body. But if you don't have that money for that expensive one, don't go there. That's what I mean.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think Mercy Alu is disagreeing with you. Look at what Mercy said here. First of all, this is what she said. But sir, $2,000 is not much in US, giving rent at around $1,500 for one bedroom in many places. And she further said, okay. Let me show us this.
Let me comment on that while you're searching what you're doing.
Sure. Feeding, taxes from paycheck, water, light bill, gas bill, fuels, sewage, feedings, ET is too much. It's more than remaining 400 after tax.
What I can add to this suggestions is this. Well, you might not go to rent a full apartment. Remember, we are talking about if this is the money you are now getting. It doesn't mean that it's the type of money you're going to get for the rest of your life. Right now, that person, the individual we're talking about, is earning this amount. Probably because he or she is still trying to navigate his or her way around and get more. But if it is at this point, you can get a roommate. You might not go to rent that 1,500 apartment all by yourself. You can seek to where you can share the room with another person and then save the money. That's what I mean by that.
Okay, Daddy, let me shock you. And let me tell Mercy something. The first place I lived in North Dakota. That's the Bismarck City. When I came to US, I first of all went to North Dakota. In North Dakota, where I used to stay is a 2-bedroom, but I don't know how it became 3 miraculously, because it's called it when we were renting, because we paid for the house before arrival. We are paying for the house. You understand? Mm-hmm. So, but it's rent 2-bedroom apartments.
Yes.
But when we came there, I don't know if it was an extra room, maybe a library or what, but it's another room. Mm-hmm. And we are lucky we got it. That became our kids' room, because I came with my 2 kids and my wife. And when we came, I'm telling you the truth, we were paying $885 in 3-bedroom. So it depends on where you are living in the US, just like you said. So that's what I want to tell Mercy. It depends on where you are. If you Google now, there are neighborhoods that you pay $750, $600 a month, and they are US.
And what I'm saying,
when you come to work from that place, they will not send you back.
And what I'm saying is that
when you want to live in the city, when you want to live in the center of the place, it is gradual. When you grow, when your income grow.
Remember, that's exactly what I said.
topic. Next
That
week.
money is for there, now, then. If
I've been looking for somebody.
You go for that.
I'm looking for an estate manager. There's somebody I got, but he has something with his company, who is a rector in this town, very known, an Igbo man. I want him to come and talk to Nigerians. You see, we need to talk about cutting your coat according to your size. That's what our people talk for a long time. If you come to US, remove competition. When you come to this US, some people will even lie to you and told you that in their first year of arrival, they bought a plane. Forget about it. Everybody don't have the same destiny. Just be focused, just be doing your own thing. Go to a place. Yes, go to a place where you can manage yourself. Even in Nigeria, yes. If you go to Nigeria and you are earning 200,000 and you go and live in Lekki, you go and live in Lekki where they pay 5 million to 10 million naira a month for an apartment. How will you survive?
Yeah.
You understand? Somebody earning 200,000 in Kogi State can stay in one place in Aimba or stay in one place in Ada where they are paying rent 15,000 a year. So he can comfortably use the 200,000. So, but somebody in Lagos the 200,000 in Lagos is not the 200,000 in Aimba.
Exactly.
So if you see somebody in New York or in California or in Atlanta, and you think of somebody who is living in another smaller state that has hubs where you can stay on your own, it's all about minding your business and why you came here. But some of us will come here and forget that we are coming from somewhere.
That's right.
That's one of the things. If you come here and remember that this place is a transit, it's not a permanent place, that you have a place you go to. If you don't go alive, you go when you die. Well, even if you say I don't want that, I know if you buy, you go there. So I think you answered well, sir. Hello, Marcos Moreno. Yeah, Marcos, do you have question? Have you been listening to him? Yeah, Marcos from Instagram, Dr. Marcos. If you have a question, put across so that, and you're watching from Brazil, that's good. Marcos Moreno, 800K. How are you doing? Yeah, thank you for watching from Brazil. So,
thank you.
What we are saying is, all we need to do anywhere you find yourself is find your class.
Yeah.
And your present condition cannot be your permanent destination.
That's right.
When we came to this place, we were living in a place, we were living in an apartment.
That's just the key.
Today we have our own house.
Yes.
You understand? So it is gradually.
No competition. It's a gradual process.
All fingers are not equal.
Yes. That's just the message. Don't do what others are doing because you don't know what they are doing. You might not be seeing it on the surface, but you don't know the underneath what's going on.
Okay. So thank you, sir. I think you have done great. One of the things I want to ask you before we draw the curtain today is, what can you say about Chinedu Anichi TV as the African voice in diaspora?
Okay. To me, this talk show, Chinedu Anichi TV, the initials is CATV. CATV. It's something to write home about. It's interesting, and it's an awareness. You have created an atmosphere, convey messages back home, and bring messages to diaspora. So you are like preach. Keep up the good work. I can see passion in you. I can see selflessness in you. And for all other people that are working with you, bravo. You are doing a good work. Having said that, I will still use this opportunity to thank our members in ISPDI and the aspiring members that want to join. This organization is open for all Africans wherever we are. Come, present yourself, and get involved to be heard. You cannot be heard from isolation. This is like an alumni organization. Yeah, we come from every area, diversified countries, tribes, and thereabout. But this is the umbrella association right now for African authors, African writers, African scholars to present both themselves and their works to the global world. And we are ready to do that. And in this organization. So I thank my team of executive members. I mentioned their name earlier. And then we have regional directors. That's another thing you did not know. We have regional directors like in Gambia, Lamin Sow, Rwanda, Kelechi Anyanwo, Kenya, Sunday Otenho, and more are springing up, all for the benefit of Africa. So International Association of African Authors and Scholars, Professional Development Institute is where to be. And Chinedu Anichi TV is taking us there.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for coming. I must appreciate. I told you we share the same ideology. We have the same spirituality, even though we are coming from diverse approaches. The other one is on soft, somehow soft media, because I'm on social media and I'm on a TV series. But you are preserving and making African to be heard in writing. So we thank God for you being here. I want to also thank your association. Thank your association. Thank every other person. Merci, hello. Those who are listening to us on Instagram, I thank you. Those who are there.
One more thing, please. Our summit for this year, remember, our summit for this year is November. Don't forget, November 1, 2, 3, 2024. That's when we are going to have our next summit, Authorship and Leadership Summit in the United States of America here. And it's going to be November 1, 2, 3, 2024. So established authors, aspiring authors, you are all welcome to join and participate and be part of this global.
I want Mercy, can you write the website? Can you put the website on your comment section? Let me display it on the screen. Because people might want to join, people want to look at what you're doing.
Okay. Or you can write it. I can spell it out for you. Chinedu.
No, let her print it out here. I know why. Let me transfer it to the screen.
Okay.
Okay. Mercy. Hello, are you still there? I think it's part of your member.
Yes. If they're seeing me, it's on my screen.
Yeah. It's on your screen. That's good. So there's it's on your screen.
On my screen.
So anybody who wants to contact you, there are many authors that might be out there and listen to us, but they don't know how to be heard.
Yes, that's the website.
Thank God you're here. So my people, I thank you. And those of you on Instagram, I cannot mention all your names, but I'm grateful you're here. Those who are watching on the YouTube, those who are watching on Facebook, those who even watch after we are done, thank you for visiting Chinedu Anichi TV. Remember, this is Chinedu Anichi TV, the African voice in diaspora.
Yes.
People have been talking our talk. People have been discussing Africa. We are beckoning on you that we are giving you a voice free of charge, zero charge. We are giving you a voice to come and talk about what you know. As an African, from any part of the world, come and talk about what you know. Things that will benefit the society, things that is educative, things that Facebook. Okay. Facebook have been, you see, Facebook and social media, a lot of people have adulterated it by way of showing things that are not edifying. So we decided on our own that instead, Serita said, instead of the whole world being in darkness, you can just light a candle. We decided on our own that we'll light a candle in social media by stepping our foot strong, that we will continue to bring educative, innovative, life-saving, and entertaining content. So if you are a subscriber or you are somebody who loves such ideology, this is your place. This is a place we don't talk about gossip. This is the place we don't talk about celebrities who have lost their wives and all these things. We don't discuss people here. We discuss ideas. And we are inviting you. Please come up here as an African. Come and talk your own talk. Tomorrow, we'll be having the youngest female musician in Nigeria, Paragon, QTN, in this show. 8 p.m. Nigerian time, 2 p.m. Central American time, and 3 p.m. Eastern American time tomorrow. And that is how we'll be coming. So if for inquiries and for participation, if you want to come up here and say something, just send us WhatsApp on +1 701 989 1910 or email us on chineduanichitv@gmail.com. Once we see it, we'll look at what you want to say, look at what you want to present. If it is a define, it will pass through our ethical sieve, and if it survives it, free of charge, you come here and tell the world what you feel like. Remember, as we're talking now, we're streaming live on Instagram, we're streaming live on YouTube, we're streaming live on Facebook. It is not gotten commonly. It is the grace of God. And that is why we say, sharing with doing. So I want also to tell you, sir, anytime we need somebody like you, we always call you.
Thank you.
You know, the Brutus has done the dirty job. You remember the issue of the death of Caesar?
Yes.
In Roman history. Brutus stabbed Caesar, one of those who stabbed Caesar. His own was very, very clear and outstanding and notable and memorable because he's a very close friend to Caesar. That's why he turned as even you, Brutus. But when Caesar died, it was a problem. You know, there was chaos in the city because the Romans didn't go down with the Romans very well. So the elders knew that this could cause chaos in the country, and they had a meeting. While we were discussing, somebody said, I know Brutus has done the dirty job, but we need a great head to speak to the Romans. That is how they looked for the man they called Cicero. And when Cicero came, he spoke to the Romans because he's one of the greatest orators that existed in that Roman Empire. When he spoke to the Romans, they wished that Caesar would have died again. And that's how normalcy returned to the society. And everybody went home. So today, the great head has spoken. It's a gift of nature.
Thank you.
So you are the great head, you have spoken. So each time that we need to bring a gray hair, please don't hesitate to make yourself available to this place. God bless you.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Okay. And with that, we'll be drawing the curtain today for this talk show with Chinedu Anichi. We had Chinedu Igwe, AIAAS-PD, the International Association of African Authors and Scholars. And he is here live. We are drawing the curtain close. Today, those of you who are watching us God bless you, and God bless you.
Thank
You
you.
know,
Thank
and we
you.
rise by lifting others.
Thank you.
Go out today and make sure you show somebody love. Everything in this world centers on humanity. Love above religion, love above tribe, love above race. Before you were born, you did not choose the race you come from. You did not choose where you'll be born. So God gave it to you. So be proud of where you come from, but don't be against another person that comes from somewhere else. Humanity is the center of our crusade. Go out today and help somebody. Don't forget, I love you. God bless you.